I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Should young people begin adulthood with opportunity or with debt tied around their neck before they even receive their first paycheck or salary? Today, this House will adopt a student loan mechanism in Indonesia, and as opposition, we strongly reject this motion. The real question in this debate is whether debt should become the primary gateway to education in a country where economic instability and unequal opportunity already place a massive pressure on young generation. We reject the idea that students should have to enter adulthood carrying debt just to access education. Today, I will prove 3 things to you. First, that student loans shift responsibility away from government to student. Second, debt changes human behavior and traps young people into insecurity. And third, Indonesia lacks the structural condition to safely sustain this model. My first argument is student loans do not solve the educational crisis. They only transfer educational crisis and only transfer this financial burden of higher educational from the government into young people. Instead of government sustainably lowering costs or improving public education and public funding, students themselves become financially responsible for accessing opportunity. And this matters because education is not only for privileged students, it's for everyone around the world, and it is beneficial for society as a whole. For example, many Indonesian families living paycheck to paycheck with unstable income and limited financial security. As a result, student loans create fear of financial instability, intergenerational debt pressure, and a system where students that come from low-income families must gamble their future just to access basic needs such as education. Even if the proposition increase university access in short term, opposition still win because access built on debt is fundamentally less secure than access built on genuine public investment. Pro may argue repayments only happen after employment, but employment itself is not guaranteed, and it is unstable. And in unstable economies, the light debts is still hanging over young people during the most financially vulnerable years of their life. Student debts fundamentally shape how young people live, work, and make decisions long-term and after graduation. When students know they carry financial obligation in themselves into their adulthood, they become pressured to prioritize paying the debt first over something like passion or exploration or anything in life. Young people no longer experiencing university as a space for us to grow and learn, but as investment they must urgently monetize in order to survive. This creates people that constantly calculating their worthiness to employability and how much they can work per day or how much paycheck or salary they make per month than genuine self-development. Graduates burdened by repayment obligation are more likely to avoid lower paying but socially necessary career such as teaching, social work, or research. As a result, student debts narrow freedom, increase stress, and deepens long-term economic insecurity among young adults. Pro probably gonna talk about giving student opportunity, but opportunity lose meaning when every decision afterward is controlled by financial pressure. Pro also may argue Indonesia model would be more flexible than countries like, let's just say, United States, but the core problem remain unchanged and still the same. Students are still required to enter adulthood carrying debts simply to access basic needs like education. Even if student loan may function in wealthier or stable countries, Indonesia economic realities make this policy significantly way more dangerous and not effective. This happened because Indonesia still faces some issues like unstable employment, unequal wages, and uneven economic development. Many graduates do not immediately enter a stable, high-paying job right away after they graduated. This makes supporting long-term payment is impossible. Pro assumes higher education automatically guarantees upward mobility, right? But degrees alone do not solve a structural unemployment or weak labor. Without strong economic absorption, loans become delayed. Financial pressure attack those with uncertain future. For example, let's see, many university graduates in Indonesia still struggle to secure stable employment or work outside their field entirely. As a result, this model will create financially trapped graduates and public distrust towards higher educational itself. Opposition would rather put government towards stronger public investment and affordability than to normalize debt as the foundation of educational success. And Pro may argue the state or country benefit from long-term tax revenue, but those benefits become meaningless if graduates themselves spend years financially burdening themselves before they even building stable adult life. At the beginning of this debate, we asked whether young people should begin adulthood with opportunity or with debt. Proposition believe it is reasonable price to pay for education. We fundamentally reject that idea because education should expand freedom, not chain students to years of financial obligation before their life even begin. Thank you.